a minute.
What? What? I'm 46. Is that a failure? Read about the lives of the great men in history. Abraham Lincoln, 46, he was nothing.
At 46, Alexander the Great was dead and buried.
All right, bury me. Write me off the memory of the human race.
Look, I am no stranger to you, you know. I happen to be your wife. I don't have to like the idea that one day somebody will go into the cemetery and take one look at your tombstone and say, Alfred Tiloff, who's that?
You smell this? Huh? You smell it, Alec. That's what's waiting for you if you don't get off my back.
Look, you just try to hit me once, just once, that's all, and you'll...
Alfred Tiloff's parents died within a month of each other. To their only son and heir, Alfred, they left the family business, a candy store, which had nourished the entire family in the depths of the Depression. Alfie bankrupted it in less than 5 months. After bankrupting the candy store, Alfred Tiloff tried petty thievery, for which he was sent to jail. When he came out, he tried a petty swindle and was returned to jail. Once summing up his philosophy of life in the exercise yard of Sing Sing, Alfred said, "They can't give you a big sentence for a little crime." At 10, Myrtle Tiloff, née Chertsey, regarded the biography of Napoleon as a sort of do-it-yourself handbook. By 14, she ran the block on which she lived. At 16, for reasons of her own, she decided to marry Alfred Tiloff. From the day she married Alfred, Myrtle's life was dedicated to improving him.
Hey, give me an egg cream, will you? You want an egg cream?
I want champagne, that's what I want.
Yeah, sure. Give her an egg cream, too.
How many times do you think an idea like this comes to somebody? Once in a lifetime somebody gets an idea like this.
Will you let it soak into your head what happens with an idea like yours? Will you let it get into your head that you can get the electric chair for kidnapping? Yeah. The electric chair?
You are a bum. You're a 2-cents plain bum. And you know something? You know why we don't have any kids? Because I do not want to have to say to those kids, you see that 6-foot pile of nothing over there? That's your father.
Look, you're going to get yourself all worked up.
There is coffee on the stove and there's cream in the refrigerator. And when that runs out, you just get more.
Where you going?
I am going to find myself a man. M-A-N. I'm going to find myself a partner. P-A-R-T-N-E-R.
Come on, Myrtle. Give me time to think, all right?
Here and now.
I gotta think.
All right, Alfie. All right, you think. And while you are making up your mind, the bettors have gone to the windows and made their bets, and the windows are closed. And now the horses are running. And now you make up your mind, but the race happens to be over. We'll see. We're going to touch your life with gold.
And so it will come to pass that a little girl named Ellie Baggett will be kidnapped by Myrtle Tiloff, born Chertsey, and by Alfie Tiloff, born Alfred. Without violence, merely in the taking of the man's hand by the little girl, for she will look into his face, and she will not be afraid.
Mrs. Nagler, we're from the police department.
This is where I was standing, by this window, like I told the officer.
Pardon me.
See? You can see everything. About 2 minutes after the car drove away, he comes out on the street, Mr. Parlin. He looks up the street. He looks down the street. No shirt on, in his undershirt.
Who's Mr. Parlin?
He's the uncle, the little girl's uncle. The father is dead, so he lives in the house like a boarder to help the sister out. He pays $18 a week.
Yes, ma'am.
It's the way he looks, kind of wild, like something is wrong. He hollers, "Ellie!" at the top of his lungs, and then he turns around and goes back into the house. I go to the phone. I dial. Mrs. Baggett, this is Mary Nagler. I just saw your little girl get into a car with a strange man. You know what she said? She says, "Ellie is right here with me, eating peanut butter on a sandwich." Eating peanut butter on a sandwich, huh? That is the Baggett window. I came in here and I looked. Mrs. Baggett was sitting alongside of the phone, crying, a letter in her hand. The uncle came back in again, still in his undershirt. He took the letter from his sister. He read it. His face was gray. He kept shaking his head. As far as Ellie is concerned, there was no Ellie and no peanut butter sandwich. Why did they lie? I will tell you why they lied. That letter was the ransom note. That is why they lied. When they saw me looking, they shut the Venetian blinds.
Well, there could be a lot of explanations for what you saw other than kidnapping.
I have breakfast about 8:30. After that, I take my fingernail pill. I have a leaning toward cracked fingernails. I supplement regular. Right after I took my fingernail pill, it happened. 9 o'clock. Maybe 5 minutes after 9. Maybe you're right. Who knows what all this means? I made a cup of coffee, a little repast for one and all. I thought, what kind of a life does a policeman have? So I made a cup of coffee and a piece of cake.
Thank you very much. Miss Baggett, I want to ask you once more, where is your child right now?
I told you before. She's downstairs in the street playing. Where would she be?
No, Mrs. Baggett. Not in the street. These men wouldn't know, Mrs. Baggett. This is my beat. I know every kid on this block.
She went to a little friend's house.
Oh, Dora, who do we think we're talking to? These are the police. Now tell them what they have to know.
Drink your coffee. Drink your lousy coffee.
What do you think, they're stupid or something? Look at their faces. Now, do you think they believe you?
Marty, you're a boarder here. You don't like the way my house runs. You take your $18 and go. Find yourself someplace else to live.
My sister's very upset.
Mrs. Baggett, did you receive a note?
May we please see that note, Mrs. Baggett?
I don't have any notes. Nobody sends me notes.
Oh, Dora, be intelligent.
Do you have something you want to tell us, Mr. Parlin?
You open your mouth, I wouldn't talk to you again as long as you live. On Mama's grave, I swear it.
Do you think we sit around like this all the time? You think in the middle of the daytime we sit in the dark with the blinds drawn? Is that the way you think we live? Dora, listen, honey, listen. Ellie's far away from home. There's no one to turn to. Now tell him, please, please, please tell him. You should let them help save us. Show him, please, Dora, tell him.
What do you want from my life? Here's a letter. That's my baby's life. She goes to the place where there's no police. No police.
Dora,
Did you see that?
Dora, you did the right thing.
Nosy. Look. I'll kill her if I'm calling you. I'll take a hammer and I'll kill her.
Use your telephone, please.
Yes, it's over there.
Help me, baby. Use my heart.
Hello, this is Flint. Let me talk to the lieutenant, please.
Mrs. Baggett, we got a description of the man from Mrs. Nagler. Does this description mean anything to you? About 6 feet tall, dark hair, black suit. He's not handsome, not ugly. Got a big mustache.
Hello, Mike. This is Adam. I checked out a kidnapping. I have the ransom note right here, and I quote, "Your baby's safe. Not for long. $25,000 buys her back."
Has the ransom money been arranged for? I want a list of the serial numbers.
Just a minute, Mike. I haven't finished yet. And, Mike, what gets me is these people here couldn't raise $250, much less $25,000. Oh, and there's a very strange twist to this note. I quote, "Make Alessandro Corbello pay. 87 Sutton Place. Her life is in his hands. Warning, no police."
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Is that spelled Corbello?
That's correct.
Who is he?
I don't know, Mike. I haven't had a chance to check yet. But from the address, he probably has money.
I mean, who is he to the parents of the kidnapped kid?
Just a minute. Who is this Corbello? Is he a friend or a relative?
A name, that's all. A name.
How can he be expected to pay $25,000 ransom for your child?
That's what I keep asking myself over and over. My daughter's life's in the hands of a stranger. Why should he pay $25,000? Why should he pay a nickel?
Mike, they don't know Corbello or why he was picked.
Did they contact him yet?
Just a minute. Have you talked to him yet?
Yes, we called him on the phone. I got his number out of the phone book.
What did he say?
He said he got a note, too.
What did his note say?
I don't know.
Yeah, Mike, they talked to him. He got a note, too.
Does the note give us any information besides what's printed on it?
Well, it looks to me like it was letters cut out of a newspaper or magazine and pasted on what looks like an ordinary piece of typing paper.
Figures. Send it down to the lab as quickly as possible.
Right.
Can we be overheard?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I have to ask a lousy question. I'm bugged because there's no connection between the parents of the kid and the guy who's going to pay the ransom money. Does this sound like a phony to you?
No, Mike, it's real.
back on.
I was just looking at myself. This thing changes me.
Put it on.
My father used to wear a mustache like this. That's why I picked this one out. When I was a kid, he used to tickle me with it behind the ear. Right there.
Oh, will you keep it on, please?
Oh, what's the difference if it's off?
You don't want to have to get rid of her if she opens her eyes and you haven't got a mustache on.
Okay.
Don't you think I know how you feel about kids?
I thought you said that sleeping stuff was guaranteed. number 1, 8-hour sleep guaranteed, you said.
Well, that's what I paid for. What am I going to do if it doesn't work? Go to the drugstore and ask for my money back? Now, when you come in this room, will you keep that mustache on?
Okay. Look at the way she's sleeping. I wonder what's going on inside her head. Every time I see a kid, I wonder what's going on inside their heads. I'm not criticizing, honey, but sometimes when I see other guys, I mean, when I see them with their kids, I figure maybe we're missing out on something, you know?
Raised my brother Jack. Raised my brother Eddie. I raised my sister Marcia. I raised my stepbrother Fred. My mother had him and I raised him. Come on now, we've got a lot to talk about.
Park the car around the corner, out of sight. Adam, you come with me.
That's all right. You can go.
I'm Lieutenant Parker. This is Detective Flint.
How do you do? I think we can talk most comfortably in my study. Come in, gentlemen. Sit down, please. This is the note we spoke of on the phone.
We have Baggett, little girl. You pay $25,000, 10s and 20s. Keep phone open for later instructions. Warning, no police. You think about this. No money and we kill the little girl. We'll tell newspapers you wouldn't pay ransom.
Mr. Cabello, do you have the envelope this came in?
Adam, is this the same type of note that the kid's mother got?
Yes, Mike. Very much the same. Look at that special delivery. It was mailed at Grand Central Main Post Office. I imagine 60,000 people touched it before it got here.
Mr. Cabello, do you intend to pay the money?
How could I have a human feeling and not pay? Do you know who I am? I was 16 when I came in this country, with 9 cents in my pocket. Now, I am a millionaire. $25,000 for a child's life. My secretary is at the bank, getting the money now.
What bank are you in, sir?
I'm sorry.
All I want is a list of the serial numbers on the currency, sir.
I will not help you do anything that puts the child in jeopardy.
Jeopardy? In whose opinion?
In my opinion.
Mr. Cabello, mostly, by the time the demand for ransom is delivered, the victim of the kidnapping is dead.
I don't believe that.
Well, that's the way it is most of the time. The question of jeopardy is a moot point.
Who would kill a child?
Who would kidnap a child?
Mr. Cabello, this is a special kind of kidnapping. That little girl doesn't come from a rich family, you know. If those kidnappers succeed now, word's gonna get around pretty fast. And that means that any child can be grabbed off the streets, and any rich person like yourself can be blackmailed into paying ransom.
What do you want me to do? I can't. I can't behave on principle when a child's life is at stake. I don't care if it's right or wrong to pay. I don't care what precedents are going to be established if I pay. I want to help that child.
Mr. Carbello, don't you think they know how you feel? Don't you think they're counting on it? Don't you think they've cased you and studied you? They know you. They know what you think.
In every kidnapping case, Mr. Carbello, the kidnapper picks his own time, place, and victim. Now, that works against us because it gives him the initiative. But he must also dictate the terms of the ransom and the method of delivery, and that works against him because he can't call for money or pick up money without contacting the person who's doing the paying. And Mr. Carbello, when the kidnapper touches you, we'll have a chance to touch him too.
All right, gentlemen.
Take that note down to the lab and check it with the other one. See if it does anything for us. When you get through, come back here. You and I are going to sit it out with Mr. Carbello till they contact him.
Right.
Mr. Manot, please. This is Alessandro Corbello. Mr. Manot, Stallion is down there with you now, isn't he? Picking up some money for me? There is a gentleman here who's going to ask you some questions. I would like his questions to be answered. If he has any instructions, I would like his instructions carried out.
This is Detective Lieutenant Mike Parker of the 65th Squad. Now, here are my instructions. The first thing I want you to do is to get me a list of the serial numbers on the currency.
Who is it?
It's a neighbor, Mr. Collin.
Yes?
I brought down some homemade French onion soup.
Thank you.
Have you heard anything yet about the little girl?
Oh, you people are mistaken. Ellie is with her aunt in New Jersey.
Naturally. But you hear certain rumors. So when she comes back from New Jersey, I'm sure we'll all be informed to relieve the worry.
Yes, thank you very much. Homemade French onion soup.
Mr. Corbello, who is this?
Look up the address of Small's Pharmacy in the phone book.
I didn't get that. Small's Pharmacy? How do you spell that?
S-M-A-L-L. You go there, go into the first phone booth from the front of the store.
Stall them. Stall them as long as you can.
Listen, is that the only group of telephone booths in the store?
You'll find it. Just go in there and sit down.
Now, wait a minute. I want to get this right. I go to the Small's Pharmacy, I go inside, I go back to the phone booth, I go to the first one.
Tell me, from the left or the right?
From the front of the store.
What do I do?
You just go in and sit down and wait.
Listen.
I close the door or leave it open?
You do what I told you.
Better hang up.
Did we get him, do you think?
Not yet. No, we didn't get him yet.
What are you doing? What are you doing to the kid?
She was waking up, so I thought I'd give her what was left in the bottle.
What do you know about that stuff? What do you know how much a kid can take? What are you trying to do, make her sleep for up? Why don't you get out of here?
What happened when you called Corbello?
What happened? I called him.
What'd he say? Was he going to pay the money?
He does or he doesn't. Now, what do I know? You better stay away from that kid in there.
Stay away. What do you think happens if Corbella doesn't pay and we have to give that kid back? Whole idea's over. Who's going to believe us if we have to do it again?
What do you mean again?
I mean again. And again and again and again until somebody pays us. Look, if he doesn't pay us, I'm going to have to...
I don't want to hear you say that. Never.
I'm going to make you into a success, Alfie. I'm going to turn you into something. Alfie, I'm going to put money in your pocket. You'll have kids of your own, Alfie. You want kids, you'll have kids of your own. We have to be strong and do what we have to, Alfie. You have to be strong and do what you have to do.
What's your name? My name is Alfie. You like little girls, Alfie? I love little girls. Now you got it.
Everybody has something. Everybody has somebody. I do what's best for you, Alfie. I do for you. I think what's best for you. Alfie, you've got to trust me because I'm on your side. Alfie, I'm on your side. Please.
Hello?
Your instructions are on the back of the out of order sign.
It was a woman's voice this time, I think. Very muffled.
These are your final instructions. Put the $25,000 in a cardboard box. Wrap the box in brown paper. Take the box with you and go to the Beverly Hotel. Take the elevator to the left.
Place the package on the floor in the right-hand corner of the elevator as you face the rear of the car. Get off at the 17th floor and take the other elevator down and leave the hotel.
$17.
Good luck.
Thanks. All right, all right.
$16, please. Would you wait for me for a few minutes? I have to get something in the linen room and take it back upstairs.
No.
Now, sometimes it takes you fellas 15 minutes to get back.
Go ahead, unless I get another call.
Thanks. Fire strike. Stay upstairs. Watch your step.
told you, didn't I? I've got to get back. The door after me.
Kerosene, all right.
I didn't touch nothing. Just like we were told. You see that box? Don't touch it. Don't touch anything. Pick up the phone and call a desk.
Yeah.
So
Charles Barency, B-A-R-E-N-C-Y.
I walked in here and I saw the paper and the box on the floor, and I went to the phone and I called down at the desk.
43290 Lawton Boulevard,
That's what they told us to do.
San Francisco, California.
Well, I stayed here and I waited.
Is that Finlast? Yeah, shoe company.
Isn't that right?
Incorporated. Thank you very much.
Isn't that what we were supposed to do?
Yes, ma'am. And thank you very much. If we have any more questions, we'll call you again.
The fire was arson, no question about it.
Mike, I have the information on the room. It was registered to a man by the name of Barency, San Francisco address. He was listed as a salesman for the Finlast Shoe Company, Incorporated.
Probably all phony.
Well, I think we'd better check it out anyway.
We'll check it. We'll check everything. We'll check Mr. Barency. We'll send that paper down to the lab for fingerprints. We'll check the whole deal.
Mike, the desk clerk told me that Barency requested a room near the elevator. He said it was a big thing with him. He was afraid of fire.
Frank, I know how you feel, but I'd like to rake this whole thing over again. I'd like to start from the beginning. In between the time you dropped Cabello and the time you locked the elevator door, the only person that you ran into was the housekeeper. Is that right?
Yeah, the minute she started yelling fire, the place got filled up with smoking people. I didn't notice who they were. I just wanted to get at that fire.
Which means that the housekeeper was either an innocent bystander who happened to find a fire or an accomplice. Now, remember when we talked to the housekeeper? Were you satisfied with her story?
Yeah, I think so. Well, let's see. From the time we got the fire report to the time we got off the 16th floor, it wasn't over 3 minutes. And when we got out of the elevator, she was there in the hallway helping people to the stairs.
Yeah, the only thing that bugs me, it's just all too convenient. Frank gets off the 16th floor, she asks him to wait, and then bingo, there's the fire.
You want to question her again?
Yeah, get her up here. I'd like to talk to her again.
Right. Let me have the manager's office, please.
Come on, you goofed. What do you think we're going to do, give you the electric chair?
I should have stayed in that elevator.
Hello, Mr. Fremont? This is Detective Flint. I wonder if you'd send up the housekeeper again, please. Yeah, we'd like to talk to her. It's Mrs. Tiloff? Oh? Hold on just a minute. Mike, she's off duty. She just went home.
Get her address.
Could you give us her address, please? Yeah. Now that we're here, Mike, I want to show you something. If you think it was a coincidence that that woman discovered the fire, how's this for a coincidence? Do you see that house there? That's where the kidnapped child lives. Just 2 doors away from the Tiloff woman.
Excuse me. Do you know what apartment the Tiloffs live in? Tiloff? They moved out about a couple weeks ago.
Where'd they move to?
Who knows? They didn't pay the last 2 months' rent. Who knows where they are? Thanks.
Hey, come on, Ellie, wake up. Come on, honey. Your mother's waiting for you. Honey, you're gonna go home and you're gonna see all all the people you love. All the people are waiting to see you. Come on, sleepyhead. Hey, come on, honey. Honey, it's a big surprise for you. I'm going to take you home. Come on, honey. Hey, sleepyhead, wake up. Come on. Hey, you know what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to buy you a doll. I mean a big one. The biggest doll you ever saw. I'm going to send it to you. I may send you a lot of gifts off and on. You won't know who it's from, though. Yeah.
We made it. I told you so, didn't I? We made it.
Hey, come on, honey.
I was sleeping.
Yeah. I was getting worried about her, you know. Maybe she was sleeping too long. I want to take her home.
Sure. Go get the car. We'll take her home.
That will only take a minute. It's in the garage.
Go get the car.
Okay. We're really going to take her home, huh? No kidding around?
No kidding around. We've got the money.
You're my girl.
Drink this.
What is it?
It's just some medicine. Drink it.
Does it taste good?
Tastes very nice. Tastes like cherries.
Will I sleep again? I don't want to sleep anymore.
Drink it.
I don't want it.
Drink it.
Halfway down the stairs. When the kid opened her eyes, you didn't have that thing on your head. You weren't wearing your glasses. But you didn't say anything. You didn't even turn your face away.
You idiot, don't you know what you're doing? We've got the money, we're free and clear. The only thing that stands between us and the money is that kid.
But you said we could take her home.
I didn't say alive, did I?
Cut that out. I'm gonna take her home. Alive and well and okay. I'm gonna take her back where we found her.
Turn us in!
Turn
us in! I'm gonna kill her!
You're crazy! Are you out of your mind? You know you're not crazy? Let go. Now look, I can't let you hurt her. Ellie. Ellie, don't be afraid. Ellie, don't be afraid. Ellie, give me a hand. Nobody's going to hurt you, honey. I'm going to take you home. Ellie, don't be scared. Ellie! 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 Don't let her go!
You stupid fool! You stupid fool! We had him made! I made you a success! You just threw it away! Did ever in your whole life you ever do anything right? I'm asking you, did you ever do anything right? You stupid fool!
Are you gonna be all right?
Sure, honey. Myrtle. You know what it was. This mustache. Every time I put it on, I felt like the kid's father. I swear, honey. It was the mustache. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Sometimes they end right.
There are 8 million stories in the naked city. This has been one of them.
This has been a Screen Gems film presentation from Columbia Pictures, produced by Herbert B. Leonard.